Okay, so let's start with this. So we're gonna be teaching you guys about like sketches. So this will be like the first exercise. There's gonna be another one. Um, so if you haven't already, boot up Fusion 360, and then we're gonna create a new design and then create a new sketch. So on the top left button up here, you click Create Sketch, and then you want to click on this bottom plate or bottom plane over here. That creates like the XYZ. You can technically sketch like in any other plane. It doesn't really matter. But for this purpose, it's just easiest to put on the bottom. Then we're gonna create a circle. So you go to create up here, and then you go to circle, and then you want to do center diameter circle. The hotkey for this is just clicking C. Then you want to click the sketch origin, which is this icon over here. So you click and then you drag out. And it doesn't matter what distance we have right now. Um, Although if you do want to type in a distance, you can type in tab and then highlights the it highlights the number, and then you can type in for this example we'll do 62, I believe. Yeah, it was 62. So we can do tab. My bad. Let me go back. So you can type in 62 and then it'll automatically like lock it. If you haven't, that's also okay. So let's just say you didn't type it in earlier, then you can redimension it by going to create and then going to this option called sketch dimension, which is the hotkey D. And then if you click the circle, there'll be a diameter value, and then you can change the diameter here. So we can change it back to 62. Okay. Oh, and by the way, my settings are in millimeters. For the purpose of this, it doesn't really matter what the units are, but mine are just in millimeters. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so then so we can move on with that. So we can click Finish Sketch up here on the top right. So then we can exit back to this menu. And then we're going to extrude the circle. So extrusion is like stretching a face outward so that it creates like from a 2D to a 3D shape. So in order to extrude, there's an icon up here, but also you can go to the drop down menu and click extrude. The hotkey is also E, by the way. And then now, since we selected the circle, or like it's the only one there, um, and now it's selected, we can change our distance to 8 millimeters. And then you just want to click OK. And then now we're going to create another sketch on top of this cylinder. So we're gonna click create. We're gonna do create sketch, and then we can click the top of this cylinder. And then now whatever we draw will be on top of here. So then now we're going to create another circle. So then you can click this icon here, or you can go through this list. For demonstration purposes, I'll go through the list. And then you can click the sketch origin again. And then you can type 56, and then it'll create the sketch dimension for you. Um, you can also just do it manually, where if you go create and then sketch dimension, you can type in 56. Yeah. So you don't have to be like you don't have to know what value it is like immediately. You can just draw. And so now after we draw the circle, we can click finish sketch. And then now we can extrude this ring. So we can click create and then extrude. And then we can click on this outer ring over here. And then we can pull it out to whatever distance we want. But since we want 22 millimeters, this is kind of specific. We can type it down here. So it's 22. Then we can click enter, or you can press OK. Um, and then now we're going to create another sketch over here on this like same plane, I guess you would say. So you go create sketch. If you select the face first and then you do create sketch, it does the same thing. It doesn't really matter in which order you do, whether it's create sketch and then this plane or this face, or you do the other way around. Just just like letting you guys know.
Brian, it might be helpful if you show like what we're trying to make in the end.
Okay. I can skip. I think it's. Let me skip through these slides then. So it's like this part over here. I hope you guys can see this. It's like a cylinder that's like that has like a hole, or has like a has like a hole, and then there's like six there's like this hexagonal pattern over here that's like kind of extruded a little bit outward. But yeah. Going back to going back to the slides. So now we're at this step. So now we can just create a circle. It doesn't really matter where it is because we're going to use these constraints up here to put it to the right place. So we're going to just we can make a 4mm hole, and then we can click OK or press enter. And then now what we want to do is we want to constrain the circle. So over here, this icon, there's a horizontal / vertical constraint. There's a bunch of other constraints that we can use later on. In my personal opinion, I use the equal ones pretty often. But for this workshop, we'll be using this one. So you click on it, and then you click the center of this small circle, and then you want to click the center of the sketch origin. And what that does is that it'll line up this center with either the horizontal or vertical of the second point. So in this case, these two are right above each other.
One thing that's worth mentioning too is that if you notice that the small circle, even though we've set a dimension for it, it still is drawn in blue. So when it's drawn in blue, that means that it's not fully referenced to the origin point in some way. So as you're sketching things, you want to always have it anchored to the origin. And if it is so, then it will have a black outline to it. But because this specific drawing that we've done has not been anchored anywhere, we've only kind of partially constrained it. It's not fully parameterized, meaning that it's kind of drawn in blue instead.
Yeah. I think in SolidWorks, if it's in blue, then you might not be able to extrude something sometimes. You can get some problems with that. But anyways, so back over here. So we'll do sketch dimension. And then we'll click the center of this inner circle or this small circle with the sketch origin. And then we can click anywhere. And then now we can type in our value, which is 25.4. So you can type that. And we can click, we can hit enter. And then now it moves the circle so that it's that distance away. And then now we're going to repeat this pattern like 5 more times. So you could do this manually, but it does get kind of annoying. And also, if you change like one value of like one of these 6 circles, then it won't change the rest of them. So if you want to make further edits, it wouldn't happen. However, if you use circular pattern, what you can do is you can click. So for objects, this is the thing that's going to be repeated. So we want to repeat the circle, the tiny circle. So we'll click that. And then our center point will be the sketch origin. So then now there's 3 because that's like the default number. We can change the quantity from 3 to 6. So if you change this number to 6, now there are 6 holes. And then now we can click OK. And then now we have 6 of these identical holes.
Can you show again where you got to that circular pattern?
Yeah. So if you go create, and then you go down here to circular pattern, you can click that. You can go objects. So objects is what's going to be repeated. So then you click this tiny circle. And then for create point or center point, you click the sketch origin. And then we want to change our quantity to 6. And click enter. And then now we have these 6 circles. Yep. And then now we can extrude this. So first we should leave the sketch. So we click finish sketch. You can also, and then we'll want to like kind of pan out. We don't have to, but I like to do this. So you can do shift and then the middle mouse button and you can orbit. And then we're going to extrude. So you can click this button up here. And then we want to click the 6 small circles that we have. So then, oops. So then you'll click each of the 6 circles. If you hold your left click, it actually gives you this small menu, and you can select like faces that are like through each other, if that makes sense. So like based on your viewpoint. So this is like the so this is not the face that we want to click, and this is the actual one. So we can click this, and then we can keep going like that. So then it would be the small circle. Maybe this one. And then this one. And then now after we click all 6, we can change this distance to 6 millimeters. And then we click OK. And then so now we have like these 6 pegs that are inside here.
Also, keep in mind you have to hold shift the whole time that you're clicking through the item tree.
I don't think you actually have to do that.
Do you? Oh, could
You only
be
need
my
to hold
preferences.
shift when you're adding something to the list of things you're selecting.
Yeah.
Oh, he already selected the thing. Okay, I see.
Yeah, he selected 3 other ones and he was selecting a 4th.
Okay,
So
no, I
if
didn't
you want
realize
to
he
keep
already
your group,
selected the feature.
Yeah. So then now we're gonna move on. So we're gonna draw another sketch on this big circle over here. So click it and we'll do create sketch. And then now we want to create an arc. So although we can like use this, we can use this constraint later on. What I like to do is just make the constraint while we're doing the arc. So then you want to go create, and then you want to go to arc, and you want to go to 3-point arc. So you click that, and why am I not locking on? Should be able to. Okay, that's weird. Let me.
are you in like a different sketch or something? Or do you need to project it?
I think I am in a different sketch. Oops.
Yeah, I think you had made a new sketch.
Yeah. Oops. Let me go back. I can delete this sketch because this was a mistake. So then we can go back. We can go to this timeline down here. You can click right click and do edit sketch. And this will take us back to the same sketch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click create arc and then 3-point arc. And then we're going to click the center of these 2 circles. So why is my locking on not working? Okay, I don't know why my locking on is. Okay, that was really weird. Create arc, 3-point arc. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm trying to hover over it and it should auto lock, but for some reason it's not auto locking. But it's all locking on this one. So I'm gonna click this one, the center of this circle. Then I'm gonna click the center of the next circle next to it, and then now we can create an arc. So then I'm gonna place it roughly around here. Although right now it's not like touching this, we can make it do so. So we can click this tangent constraint. If we click on this arc and also the inner circle, it brings this arc towards it. So then now it's like flush. And then now we can click escape because we're still in the constraint. And then now we're free to click anything. And then now we're going to use a circular pattern again. So you go up here and click create. And then you go to circular pattern. And then our object will be the arc that we created. So it'll just be this one. And then our center point will be the sketch origin again. And then now we want to make 6 to match the rest of the holes. So then once you have that, you can click OK. And then now we have these, we kind of have like this hexagonal flower shape, I guess you would call it. And then now we can click finish sketch. And then, okay. So right now, since I edited the previous sketch and I only extruded the circles, the sketch is hidden. So what we can do is we can go to this drop down bar on the left, and then we go to where sketches is. We click the arrow, and then we can find the sketch that we previously were drawing on. So in this case, I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. So we can turn it back on with the eye icon so that it's shown. And then now we're going to extrude these parts. So I'm going to click extrude. And then I'm going to click on these tiny slivers back here. Oops. It's kind of hard. And then this one. And then that one. And then once you have that, we can type in 6, and it will be the same height. And we can click OK. And then we can turn the sketch off because we don't need it anymore. And then now we should have this part over here. So this is kind of just like more like an intro to like show you guys like the circular pattern and some of the constraint tools. But yeah, this is only like the first exercise. Yeah. Do you guys need more time on this one, or should I move on? You guys can type in chat.
As a reminder, if you do need some one-on-one help, a bunch of us are sitting in Discord right now. So if you guys talk to us, otherwise we'll probably continue.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So then we can create a new design. So we'll click this plus icon up here. Oops. The Zoom's blocking it. Well, there's like a plus icon up here, and you can click new design. So what we're gonna use, so we're gonna create a new design, and we're gonna be importing an image. So in the slides, if you click on this, I uploaded like an image of like a rook chess piece. We're gonna be creating like a simple version of this, but we're gonna be using like the image that I have. So if you guys could download it, and then once you guys have downloaded it, let me go back. You can click insert, and then insert from my computer, and then you can download or you can upload the image. So I'm gonna upload this rook. Click open, and then for the image, I want to put it on the side over here. So I'm gonna click on this right face, and then I'm just gonna click OK. Let me know what is insert. So insert is on this, it's on the right up here, and it lets you insert like a few outside files, I guess you'd say. So some useful ones would be the canvas, which is for image, and then SVG, which is for like some embossing and stuff. We're gonna be using canvas. So then for canvas, if you click on it, and then if you have any photos inside your Fusion, I guess you could upload it, but then most likely you don't. So then we'll click insert from my computer. And then you can click on any picture that you have. For this purpose, I'll be using this rook picture. But yeah, I already uploaded one, so I'm not gonna do it again. But yeah, so we'll have this picture. So I'm gonna assume that you guys have this, you guys downloaded the photo, so I'm gonna move on. So we're going to be creating like a reference line. So first we'll do create sketch, and then we'll be clicking on the same plane as the image, I guess you'd say. And then now what we want to do is we want to create a line. So you can click this icon up here. It's the same thing, or you can go to create and then line on the top. And then what you want to do is you want to click the sketch origin, and then you want to type in 12 millimeters. You can also, and then you can click the green check mark here. You can also just create a line, and then what this slide is doing is that you create a line, and then you can use the sketch dimension. So create sketch dimension, and then what that does is you can label the length later. So right here, I'll do 12. I'll click OK, and then now we're done with the sketch for now. Like we'll go back to it, but we'll click finish sketch. And then now what we want to do is we want to resize this image. So typically when you import an image, it may not be the exact size that you want, and that's okay. But we do need to fix it. So then what we're going to do is we're going to click on this arrow next to canvases, and then we go to Rook, which is the image, and then we're going to right click and then click edit canvas. And then now we have this kind of menu over here. So this square allows you to like drag the picture anywhere you want. And then these two bars and this rounded corner allow you to scale the image. So this one stretches it vertically, and then this one stretches it horizontally. Oops. And then this rounded corner stretches it like, or scales it all together. So what we're going to do is we're gonna make it so that the line matches like half of the base of the rook piece. And the reason why we want it to be half is because we're going to revolve this. We're gonna revolve a face in 360 so that we can make like this like cylindrical shape, like the rook. So I'm just gonna move this and kind of like stretch it out, and then keep on doing this until it like matches the right length. There's no like exact process to this, but it's more of just like a way to demonstrate that like you can get things from the internet or like reference images, and then you can try to create them in like into a 3D model. So then this looks about good. So then I can click OK. I'm gonna give you guys like a minute or two to like get this image lined up, because I know it's kind of weird at first, but yeah. Probably close this, by the way.
It can also be helpful to add like a line on the other end too, to kind of make it symmetrical as well, but that's not necessary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, could you go over it again?
Sure, I guess. So you can, to create another line, you can right click this sketch icon, and then you can click edit sketch. And then now we have the sketch thing again. So we can create another line. So we can click line up here, or click L. And then you click the sketch origin, and then you stretch it out, and then we can type in 12. And you click enter. Oops. Or we click, and then we click the check mark to get rid of it, or get rid of the line function, and click escape. And then now we can do finish sketch. Well, I guess this doesn't line up perfectly, so I can go right click this rook image and then edit canvas, and I can stretch it out as such. So let me stretch it out. Let me shrink it a bit more. But yeah, okay, it's like roughly around there. Okay. Which part should I go over?
I think you're good.
I'm good. Okay.
Yeah, unless anyone has any other questions.
Okay.
Probably keep going.
Okay. So then we're gonna go back to edit this sketch. So we're gonna right click and then do edit sketch, and then we're gonna keep drawing on this. So then just like a heads up, it's just gonna be a lot of like tracing, I guess you would call it. I'm not going to be tracing like the fine details, like this bump over here, and then like this bevel, but like you could if you want to. It's completely up to you. But for the sake of demonstration, I'll be skipping like a little bit of these details. Oops. So then first we're gonna create the base. My scroll wheel's broken. So then we'll be creating a 12 by 3 rectangle. So then there's multiple ways to do this. So one way is you can do a 2-point rectangle up here. So up in this icon, you can also do create rectangle and then 2-point. You can click the center up here in the sketch origin, and then you can drag it out. And then before you left click, you can type in your values. So in this case, I'll do 3 and then 12, and now I can click, and then it'll create the rectangle. Another way to do this is you can just draw the lines manually. So you can do like, you can draw it up, draw 3, and then so forth. You can also use the constraint tool. So let's say I just drew a line that wasn't exactly the same length as this. I can go to the equals constraint up here, and then I can click on both of these lines. And what that does is it maps it so that both of the lines have the same length at all times. So then if I change this from 12 to like 8, this line matches the same length. And then afterwards, I can just create another line and connect these endpoints, and then we should be good. So then once you create the base, we're gonna create like this curved section, I guess you would call it. So first we're gonna create a 8mm line up. So click line, and then click here and go up, and then we'll type in 8 and click enter. And then next we'll do the same thing again. So the hotkey for this is L. So I'm gonna be clicking L. And then you can click this point over here and then stretch it out, and then type in 7. I just made 7 as like a rough estimate because like in the photo it was like kind of close. You can change this to I guess like 8 or so, like to more accurately copy the image. And then afterwards you will want to do fit point spline up here. And what this allows us to do is create some like nice organic curves. So you want to first start on this point on the right, and then you kind of just want to like trace over where the humps are. So this hump is here. There's another one roughly here, and then we keep following the shape. And then once we're about to like reach the end, you want to make sure that the plus icon, it's like right on top of my cursor. You want to make sure that it changes from a plus to an X. And what that does is that the X means that it's intersecting with the other line that it's on top of. So if I just made a line like right here, then I click the check mark, then it's not like connected. But then if I create a new spline and then I made sure that this X shows up, it's kind of hard to see because it's in light blue. And then I click it, and then I click the check mark. Then now you can see that this is a closed face, and so now it's like kind of highlighted when I hover over it. But yeah, so then that's like the curved shape part. And then we're gonna create the tower. So we're gonna create another line, and then go up, and then go to 21 meters. And and click enter. And then we're going to create another line that's around, it's more, before when I use when I use the same image, I guess I scaled it a bit smaller. So over here, I think I'll do 6.5. It's kind of just like up to design how long you want this to be, or if you want to like copy this exactly. These lines are kind of arbitrary in that we're just trying to sketch the image of the rook. And then moving on, we'll click on this line and connect these two endpoints here so that we get like this trapezoid. And then you want to click escape so that we get rid of the line, the highlighted line over here. So if you click escape, gets rid of that. So now we have like this other face. And then now we're gonna work on like the top. So real quick, it's just gonna be a few more lines. So create another one. I'm gonna say 3.5. And then you keep going. So let's say, I guess 9.5. And then one more line. So now we have like this trapezoid face. And then now we're up here at this rectangle. Oops. So what we can do is we can do a 2-point rectangle, I guess. So we can click on here, and then we want to make it so that it's around I would say 4 by 9.5. So then we'll do 4, and then tab, and then 9.5. And then now we have like this rook kind of like half sketch. It's okay if it doesn't like follow exactly. It's more just like the general. We're just trying to follow like the general shape of the rook chess piece.
The nice thing is that because you've parameterized all of these lengths as well, if you're not happy with how it looks, you can really easily just change one of the numbers and it'll change the appearance of it without having to go back and like fix every single line.
Yeah. So then like this one, let's say I wanted like the stem to be like kind of smaller. I can change it from 6 to 3, I guess. And it'd be like really skinny. But that's not what we want, so I'm gonna change it back to 6.5. But yeah. Yeah, okay. So then do you guys need more time for like making this outline, I guess? Or are you guys good? More time? Okay. Do you guys want me to like go back and I guess sketch it again so that I as more like a demo?
I think that's a good idea. Maybe just kind of quickly go through it again.
Okay, yeah. I can just do Control Z and change all these. Yeah, no worries. Let me present this. Okay, cool. So then first we'll create like a 12 by 3 rectangle. So you click line, go up. It's like 3. Click enter. Oh shoot. There's a weird line over here. Oh, I accidentally created another line that's like really tiny. So I'm gonna try that again. And then we're gonna create a 12 millimeter long line. Connect these lines. And then now we're going to create another line up here. I think it was roughly 8. And then over here, I want it to be, I'm going to say 8. Click OK. And then now I can do fit point spline. I can kind of copy this shape. It doesn't have to be accurate. It just has to be what you want it to look like. You can also change these points after you've drawn it. But I think it's okay. So then moving on, we can draw the stem. So then this is around 21. And then this is around 6.5. Connect these two lines. And then we're gonna create this this top part. So it'll be 4 millimeters, or let's do 3. Yeah, 3 is better. And then let's do 9.5. Connect these two lines. Why is the spline like blue? Yeah, so this isn't really defined by any dimension, and we don't necessarily need it to be defined in this case. It's also kind of hard to exactly define a curve. But it's okay because we can still use the features. So it's not really like hindering us. Going back, we can create this last top piece. I'm gonna say it's like 4 by 9.5, and then another line. And then once you're done, you can click the finish sketch icon up here. So then now we kind of like have this half drawing. Important. Yeah. So moving on. So now we can revolve this. So we want to go to the create menu and then go to revolve. Or is it up here? And then for our profiles, we want to click on the faces that we created. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for our axes, we want to click on this center axis. And then now what it does, it creates like a 360 of the entire face, so that it creates the actual 3D model. And then so now we can click OK. And it's kind of distracting to like see this with the image still there. So what we can do is we can go to the canvas icon and we can click the eye to hide it. So now we just see like the actual piece. So then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create like the crown, the top part, I guess you would call it, the crown. So we'll click on this top face, and we'll do create sketch. And then now we'll create a another circle. So it's this icon up here, but I'm gonna go through the menu. So create circle and then center diameter. And then we want to make it 10 millimeters. So around here. And then this blurb over here is like mentioning how if you accidentally just created a random circle like this big, it's like obviously wrong, but we can like fix this. So if you go to create and then sketch dimension, you could fix it to 10 millimeters, and then we can, and then yeah. So now what we want to do is we just want to create a we just want to create a vertical line. So we'll do line up here, create the line straight up. Make sure that it's intersecting with the circle that we had earlier. So then now it's like that. Okay. And then now we're going to create another angle or another line at like an arbitrary angle. We're gonna constrain it later, so it doesn't really matter how long it is, just as long as it's intersecting the outer ring. So up over here. And then now what we're gonna do is now what we're gonna do is we're gonna write a dimension. So we'll do create sketch dimension, and then we'll click on the 2 lines. It's okay if this sketch dimension hovers over. We can click on the other line, and then it changes to an angle. So then if you just left click, you can then type in your angle. So we'll do 30 degrees. We'll click enter. And then what that does is that we create like this pie shape. And then now we want to repeat this 4 more times. So we can use the circular pattern tool. So we'll do create, and then we'll go to circular pattern. And then for our objects, we want to copy these 2 lines that we created. So we'll click on those. And then our center point will be the sketch origin. And then right now it only has 3, but we want to make it 4. So we'll click 4. And then we'll click OK. And then so now we kind of have like this, I guess like oddly shaped or oddly spaced out circle thing. And the reason for that is because the gaps over here. So I was gonna make it so that this part over here, this face, would cut down into the piece, and that the other faces, like these ones, would stay. Do you want to show how? Oh yeah, you can do that too. So so we can let me do it this way first, and then I'll show them. So after we create this this sketch, we can do finish sketch, and then now we can go to extrude. And then now what we want to do is we want to click on these 4 faces, and then also this entire center circle. And then we can cut it. We can cut it to -2.5. The reason why this is negative is because this arrow icon, originally it was facing up, and so that makes it so that any length that you stretch it out, or any length that you type in, will be going upward. But since we want to cut into the face, we want to make it negative. So then we'll do -2.5. Or in this, yeah. If you're unhappy with how far this is going down, you can change it to like 3 per se. And then we can click OK. Another way to do this, we could, instead of doing the circular pattern on a sketch, we can also use a circular pattern on a 3D feature. So one would be extrude. So if we go back, and let's say we didn't create this circular pattern, we can do finish sketch. We can first just extrude or cut through this piece. So if you click extrude up here and then cut down, so we can do -2.5. It's only at this place over here, but then we can revolve it, or we can repeat this pattern by doing create, and then there's pattern and then circular pattern. So then the feature that we want to do is this one. So it's cut, and then the axis that we want to do. So since we reference everything with the sketch origin, we can use the I guess like the XYZ over here, like the original XYZ, and it'll line up. So then what I want to use is the Y axis. So I'll click that. And then now it's like repeating this cut 3 times. I want to make it 4. So then I'll click 4, and I can click enter. So it doesn't do the center circle, but we can fix this by showing the sketch again. So clicking this eye icon. Sorry. And then we can click extrude, and then we can click on both of the faces, and we can also cut it down by negative 2.5, or I think it was 3. No, 2.5. And you click enter and hide this. And so now we have the same piece. And then lastly, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a fillet tool. So we're gonna click on this fillet tool up here, and we're just gonna smooth out these 2 circles for the bases. So we're gonna click on them, and then we want to type in 0.5. The reason why we want to smooth these sharp edges is because in actual 3D printing, if you just left the edges as is, the pieces, when you hold them, like actually feel kind of sharp, and they don't really feel that good to hold. So then we want to smooth that out so that it just feels a lot better. And we can click OK. And then now we have like this chest, this rook piece. And then now we're done. So yeah. Do you guys want me to go back to the cutting up here? I can go back to this feature. Do you want to fillet the top piece as well? We can do that. So we can fillet. I would say these group or these faces or these edges over here. So let me do that. So I can do fillet. Instead of like clicking all these edges one by one, we can just left click and then drag. Oh, is it left or right? Should be left. Yeah, left click and then hold down, and we can drag over to the edges that we want. So since it like clicked a little bit too much, we can instead just like, I guess you would left click to get rid of them. If we were to actually you don't necessarily have to. Again, it's kind of just like where you think, yeah, they're just kind of optional. It just depends on like where people touch them or where people touch the prints. It's kind of like a more niche thing. So I'm gonna just do these 4 edges. But it kind of just like depends on like up to you. And then I'll do, yeah. So I'll do 0.5. Okay, so right now I have these 4 edges here, and I have it I have it as a fillet, but let's say I wanted to like go back and like do these edges over here. So what I can do is I can click Control or hold Control, and then now I'm able to like select and like deselect some of the edges. So I can just click these. And then, oh, I thought, okay. Well, and then I can change this back. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it as is. So I'll click OK. And then now it looks like this. Yep. Okay, does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, quick question. How do you like rotate the entire piece?
How do I rotate the entire piece? Do you mean like visually or like actually rotating?
So like I made it on the wrong axis.
Oh, okay. So I think you can go back to the feature. So you can right click and then do edit feature. And then now we're on the revolve tool.
No, so not like this. Like I put the initial canvas on the wrong plane.
Oh, okay.
So my base is on the wrong plane, basically.
Oh, okay. We can fix that. So if you go to bodies over here, you can right click and edit body 1. This is the only body that we have. And then there should be an option called move/copy. So then now what we can do is we can rotate this piece around in the design. So you can rotate it around as how much as you want. So let's say we wanted to like rotate it 90 degrees this way. So we can adjust that. So we can rotate it and then we can click OK. So now it looks kind of like this. Yeah, I hope that fixes it.
Thanks.
Yep. But yeah.
Hey Ryan, Crystal just asked if we fillet the base, do you select the edge or the circle of face? Can you quickly show them the difference between selecting an edge and selecting a face when applying the fillet tool? Because I think it'll make more sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically, if you select the edge, or just the edge itself, it will only apply the fillet function to that edge. However, if you select the face, it will apply the fillet to all of the edges connected to that face that you selected.
Okay. So let me go back and delete this so that we have a better space to work with. So let's say I clicked on this edge. So I'll only do the outermost edge. So I'll just type in a value. Click OK. So it only does this this edge over here. However, if I were to fillet the face and then do 0.5, it'll do the entire, like all the edges connecting to it. Yep. Any other questions?
Looks good.
Okay. This might be a good time to transition to project hours.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to stop the recording.